Hi, campers. Chef Leisha here. Today we are going to make a watermelon barbecue sauce. Yes, we're going to do something a little bit different, and hopefully you've not done this before so that we can have a brand new fun experience together. You need a few ingredients, and hopefully you have them established already, but let's go over everything. You want a cutting board on a surface. Make sure that you have a wet paper towel or wet towel underneath your cutting board on your counter or your table. The wet paper towel and the wet towel is going to make certain that your cutting board doesn't slide around, and that will prevent injuries. So we want your cutting board to be straight and safe and immovable, and that's going to be what does it. And then when you do that, I want you to gather all of your ingredients. Let's read off the ingredient list really quickly. You are going to need watermelon juice. For the watermelon juice, you have a watermelon, and we're gonna like squish that thing up and extract the juice from it. So that's gonna be really fun to get your hands in there, right? You're gonna need balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, soy sauce, olive oil, Dijon mustard, garlic, tomato paste, and if you're really feeling spicy, sriracha hot sauce or your favorite hot sauce. Okay, I just realized that one of my ingredients is not on my table, so I'm gonna go grab it. All right. So when you look, starting a recipe, you always want to look at the whole recipe first and then go from there and gather all of your ingredients. Since we're making a barbecue sauce, you also have your Impossible meat burger patties, and we're going to cook those so that you have something to put your sauce on. And it's going to be really good. It's going to be a tasty plant-based burger. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, get your kitchen towels if you have any. You always need those. And I have some gloves for the watermelon squishing part. You don't have to use gloves. Just make sure that your hands are very, very clean, that you wash them with soap and water and warm water and very thoroughly, making sure they're clean. So I'm going to show you my setup over here on the table so that you can see. You won't be able to see me anymore, but you'll be able to hear me. Okay, right over here, we have some ingredients. This is my watermelon. I had a big guy, so it's cut in half, and we're going to cut that down even further. Garlic. And then everything is in separate bowls. You don't necessarily have to do it that way, but I like to do it just to keep track of what everything is and where my ingredients are. And here's my Impossible meat burger. We didn't have actual burger patties in my local store. They just had the pack of ground. So I took a little bit out of that. And I'm going to make little meatballs out of it and do a meatball with the sauce, okay? So the first thing is to get rid of this fly, you guys. I don't know if you see me swatting it. There's a little pesky fly in the room bugging me, literally. So I'm putting the gloves on only because I cook a lot, and sometimes things irritate my skin. That's the real reason why I'm using the gloves, not because I'm afraid of getting my hands dirty. Since this is really big, I'm going to cut it down into smaller pieces and then cut it so that it can be squished to extract the juice. If you have a juicer, you can use a juicer. If you have a blender, you can use a blender. But it's not necessary for this recipe to use any fancy equipment. And that is what I wanted to highlight with this particular recipe, because sometimes you don't have those pieces of equipment. I have a lot because I'm a chef. So we're going to break down the watermelon and separate it from the rinds, okay? The best thing to do is to take it in small pieces as much as possible, which is workable for you. I can take a whole watermelon and peel off the skin very easily, but I think that for younger people with smaller hands and smaller knives, it's best to just take off chunks and pieces so that it's workable for you. See? So we want to make sure that there's no green or white pieces. And this is going to go, usually I put all of my scraps in compost, but I have a friend with chickens and they love watermelon. So I'm going to give her the watermelon rind for her chickens. And we'll put that into the bowl there, into the bowl there. And if you're lucky, you got a nice watermelon that has seeds in it. So we'll have to separate the seeds. We'll strain it. But you just want to break it down into these pieces, and this should be enough to get 3/4 cups of juice. I'm very tempted to eat some right now, you guys. Let me just eat this little piece. It's so sweet. So good. Okay. The squishing part, just get your hands in there real good. Make sure your bowl is big enough for you to work with and do this so that you can get your hands all the way in there. Oh, wow. Look at that juice. Now, you can also do this to make agua fresca. And I like a sparkling agua fresca. So I'll get sparkling water and then crush up watermelon and other fruits for a refreshing drink. It's been hot lately with this heat in the middle of summer. So this is a good refreshing drink. And it's also a great use of watermelon while the season is in. A lot of people say, what do you do with watermelon besides just eat it? You know, you can use it to make barbecue sauce. And I'm all about impressing your friends with new skills and tactics. So I would definitely brag on the fact that you know how to make a watermelon barbecue sauce and then make these wonderful burgers to go with it. Yeah, just crush it all up. That's more than 3/4 cup of juice. So what I'm going to do is get a strainer. And if you have a colander, a strainer, mesh strainer, we're going to pour it off. Now, if you don't worry if you don't. You can always just use another method to pour off the juice, and I'll show you in a second. I am also not going to completely strain it. As we make this sauce, I kind of want some of the watermelon meat in it. So if you feel like that's something that you want to do, go for it. I think it adds like a nice depth. So, and I also, another thing I would do is I'd add jalapenos into the pot. Maybe one whole one that's just sliced open so that you can get some of that flavor out of it. But I like spicy stuff, so I'm always going to want a little jalapeno in something. Okay, so I'm going to get my measuring cup that I used with my other ingredients. Rinse it out really quickly and show you two methods for getting this juice. So I have here a strainer. That one's a little big. Let's get the smaller one. To put on top of the measuring cup. And then you would just take your bowl and pour it in, right? Hopefully you don't make a mess like I just did, pouring a bunch of juice on your table. But that's why you have the towels nearby. So this is one way, right? Another way, this is how my mom would do it. Because growing up, we didn't have a lot of cooking utensils and cookware. You take your spoon there, and you just pour it that way. Again, try not to make a mess, but if you do, forgive yourself. I'm gonna have to cut up some more watermelon, I think. This might not be enough juice. Let's smash it and see if we can get almost a full cup. Well, look, there we go. I think we got it. That's what you have to do sometimes. Work with it. Now, sauces are interesting. when you make a sauce like this, the longer it cooks, the better the flavor develops. While it can be done very quickly, the flavor just explodes, and when it has an opportunity to settle in. So that's a little more than a cup, and that all we needed was 3/4 of a cup. So we're good. I'm going to move this to the counter over here. So we have all our liquid ingredients ready. And I really want to drink that, but I'm not going to. And I'm using this for tomato paste. The tomato paste comes in cans as well, but a lot of times I don't use the whole thing. So this is what I'm using today. But we will use this whole thing if you have one of those today, because that is exactly how much we need for this recipe. All right, your garlic. We only need 2 cloves, but if you are feeling very garlicky, like I always am, I'm going to add a little bit more garlic. Sometimes, you write the recipe and then you go, that might need more garlic. So you want to take your garlic and the knife and just smash, right? If you have a garlic press, you can use that. And you smash it and smash it, smash it, and smash it. And then here you go. Now, mincing is all about just making it very small, very tiny, very small. So you start out, and with garlic, of course, as you can see, there's no uniformity where you can see distinct lines and all of that. But you're just gonna chop, 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 and just keep chopping in multiple directions to mince the garlic. Now, one thing about garlic is while you might be like me and love it, it's also one of those things that if you get a piece that's too big and it's raw and it hasn't been incorporated into your dish, it can ruin the entire thing. So we want to just make sure that we are taking our time with this garlic and doing it right. Okay, there we go. And that's about how it should look. Now we got a saucepan, and this is the easiest sauce ever, you guys. Everything goes into the pot and cooks. And it just literally cooks until it's done. There's really nothing to it. I have my olive oil by the stove, so I'm going to put that on. What I am going to do is put the olive oil in first and then saute this garlic up a little bit and then add the rest of the ingredients, okay? So this is a pot I'm using. You don't have to use the same type of pot, but just know that it has to be big enough for all of your ingredients to go inside. So let me turn that on. We want it on medium heat. Then we'll put our olive oil in there and add the garlic right away. And don't worry, I'll take the computer over there so you can see it. Now, after you have chopped garlic, your hands might be sticky. It might be a good time to wash them off. It's just the oils from the garlic that gets all stuck to your hands, okay? So I'm washing my hands now. So whenever you're preparing a dish, you know that you're going to have to wash your hands multiple times during the process. So just be prepared for that. Okay. Let me take you over to the stove so you can see what it's looking like. There we go. Looks good. All right. So I'll take my wooden spoon, and I'm just going to stir that around a little bit. And really, you only need to do this for just a couple of seconds. It doesn't take a long time. You just want to get the bite out of the garlic before you put the rest of the ingredients inside. All right? So just let that go. The fly is really interested in the rest of this watermelon I have, So that's what's happening right now. Just try to make sure that the fly doesn't get it. Oh, you should smell the garlic now. Do you smell it? Yes, the smells. Oh, it's so wonderful. Now let's add the rest of our ingredients. And in no particular order, I have my watermelon juice. This is a cup, so I'm going to leave a little bit because we only need 3/4 of a cup. Alrighty. And all of the rest of the liquid ingredients are going in. Our soy sauce, apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, Dijon mustard, and then we'll add the brown sugar and tomato paste. It should be a rich, deep, dark red color that's emerging. So I'm going to grab my whisk so that the Dijon mustard will break down into the pot, and we'll bring you over here so that you can see. There we go. And we'll let that sit. And you know what? Since we had a little extra watermelon juice, I'm going to drink it. Oh, that's so good. I love watermelon. All right, let's put our tomato paste in. If you have a tube, I don't know if you have a tube or a can, but if you have a tube, there's a little pointy thing on the end of the top, and that will puncture this end and open it. So you just press down on it and pull it off, and it's open. So let's add the tomato paste. And be careful not to get tomato paste all on your wall. Stir that in, whisk it in. We're going to turn it on low and let it cook down. And then I'm going to get some salt, garlic powder, and pepper. Now this isn't on your list, but I'm just going to show you this because I was inspired, and maybe you will be inspired to do it as well. So I'm going to make meatballs, a couple of them with this. And whenever you're making meatballs, you got to flavor it up, right? You got to put some, you just don't make a little ball of meat. You want to season it. So I got a little salt. I'm going to work that in. And pepper. And then garlic powder. And that's just going to give it some flavor on its own so that when you put it in with the sauce, that it's really good. Earlier, I had made something that had chopped red onions. So I'm going to put those in there. Chopped red onions and jalapenos. Again, I told you guys I like it spicy. So I'm going to put the And this was from an earlier class. All for your amusement, for just so for future reference if you want to do it. Let me tilt this down so you can see. Now I'm just going to work that through so that it's evenly distributed, right? And then decide on the size of the meatball. Now, if you are, or you could do little sliders. If you are making the burger, you can get a pan hot and start getting your burger ready right now. So yeah, little slider instead of a meatball. There we go. That looks cool. If you have little dinner rolls like those King Hawaiian rolls, you can make these. Guarantee you, people won't really know that they're not eating meat. They will be surprised. So here we go. I'm going to wash my hands real quick and then get the pan ready to start cooking the burgers. But for now, we'll just let our sauce cook. And you can turn the heat up to high. We want to speed up that process so that it's done when the burgers are done. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, I'm back. Let's give our sauce a little stir. It's such a deep red color, auburn-like. Great. We're going to get a pan and turn that on for our sliders. Now's a good time. If you want to taste the sauce, go ahead and get yourself a spoon. I'm going to show you how the professionals do it. Stir up your dish so that all the elements inside are incorporated evenly. And then you're going to take your spoon and you just do like this. You don't need to have a whole like soup-like effect. It's just, it should coat your spoon. And then you taste it. Wow. It's a really delicious, interesting mix. I love it. So good. Tangy, sweet, so many things at the same time. It's hitting all the taste buds, guys. It's hitting all the taste buds. Just keep stirring it up and continue to let it do what it does. Now I'm going to put our sliders in the pan over here. Pick up this guy. This is a non-stick pan, so I don't need to oil it. Show you. It's on high so that they cook fast. We don't want to delay. So I put red onions and jalapenos inside of my little burger. And I have an avocado left over from earlier and a tomato that I think would complement this really well. Maybe not the tomato. I don't want the tomato to clash with the sauce. So let's just go with the avocado. See how that works. It's always hot in the kitchen, you guys, so I'm going to grab some water, as should you. Usually I have a nice big jug of water next to me, but I left it this time, so I'm going to just go get a glass. I'll be right back. I'm back, you guys. The fragrance is wonderful in here. There is the sweetness in the air. There's the saltiness and like the slight bitterness from the balsamic vinegar. It's just really, really nice. I'm really enjoying the way it smells. So let me show you what the pot is looking like right now. You're kind of bubbling. See, you should be bubbly. And this is not a super thick sauce. I would say this is a great sauce to use on top of the things that you are grilling. So if you're making grilled chicken, beef, it could go really nicely with seafood like shrimp. Shrimp would be good with it. I don't know about many others, but you wanted to use it as your finishing sauce. It's not necessarily a good basting sauce if you are putting it on an outdoor charcoal grill. So it definitely, you want the flavors to come out, but it's best if they are done at the end. Certain things are better at the end than throughout the entire process. So that's what this sauce is. It smells really good. Okay, our burgers should be ready to flip. So I'm gonna flip mine over. Let me show you, while I'm thinking of this, let me show you how you can tell when your burger's ready to flip. If you see your burger, right, you see there, it's starting to turn brown where you can actually see it without flipping it over. That's an indication that it's a good time to flip. If you do it too soon, you run the risk of having a raw burger, particularly when you are cooking with meat. In this case, it's not meat, so we're not concerned about the rawness, but the technique is still the same. So you don't want that. And also, if your temperature is high enough and it stays on there long enough, you get a good sear. A sear is when you get kind of like the brownness and the slight crunch, the texture on the meat that you are really looking for. That brings a lot of flavor. It's a caramelization process. It brings a lot of flavor to your meat. So if you do it too soon and you have that soft patty, it doesn't have the same depth of flavor as others. So I'm gonna flip it now. Yes, exactly what I was looking for. Check it out. You see? That's the sear. That's the sear that you want. That's exactly what you want. Let me see. I have some sesame seed bread. And when I pull those sliders off, I'm just going to use one because I'm not that hungry. I'm going to toast one to use for the burger. It'll be an open-faced burger. The toaster is not plugged in. I will toast it in the pan. That way I don't have to move everything out the way. So I'm excited about the burgers. The patties are coming out really great. I'm going to show you something else. If you really are a cheese lover and you're like, this is a plant-based situation and I need cheese. But what do I do if it's a plant-based situation and you want cheese? There are plant-based cheeses. Go figure. I'm putting a little extra foil on top of that watermelon because the fly is still around. But I'm going to show you guys. This is a plant-based cheese. This is made from oat milk and navy beans, garbanzo beans, lots of other things. This is a pepper jack one. So try out new things. That's all I have to say about that. I've tried many different plant-based items. I really do think that the key is to try out something new. Everything is not going to be a winner. Some things are not going to taste great to you. They won't. But the key is to make certain that you don't close yourself off to opportunity. You don't close yourself off to flavors. All right, the plant-based burgers are done. I'm gonna top one with this just because I want to see how it tastes. Only one, because I might not like it. Let's turn off our sauce as well. Now, here's a little trick. The side that was on the pan is always the side that you want to put your cheese on because it's the hottest, right? It just came off the heat, the direct heat source. So it is the hottest. So you put your cheese on there. Turn your sauce off and we can assemble our burgers. I'm going to toast this bread. Oh, maybe not. I have a friend who made some bread, so I think I'm gonna try hers. So at this point, your sauce should be looking sticky, right? It should be looking like it should look. You got a sticky sauce. And the bread is not cooperating with me today. That's okay. Oh yeah. So don't worry if it is stuck to your pan just a little bit. Grab your spoon and stir that up. This is a really rich looking sauce, you guys. Look at that. Looks like bottled barbecue sauce, doesn't it? But it has something in it that no one would suspect. I think you'll impress your friends this summer with the family barbecue with your new sauce making skills. And then there's the patty with the cheese. It didn't melt, you guys. That's vegan cheese for you. Sometimes it's not melty. So I'm gonna put a little sauce on top of it to see what happens. Right? Yeah. Put that on there. I'm gonna cut a little piece. Ooh, it's a little hot. I like it. That is really good. I'm gonna put more sauce on it. And I honestly don't think I need that vegan cheese. The sauce by itself is really, really tasty. Now, it doesn't taste like watermelon. You know, if you're wondering, the flavor in there, it no longer tastes like watermelon. There's this thing, this flavor and umami of sorts that is there that somebody would probably be like, what is that? Like, what is that flavor? So it's like the guessing game. You could play a guessing game with your family and have them guess what the ingredients are in this sauce, because it doesn't taste like watermelon, but it has such a rich depth of flavor that is very complimentary. And yes, I like the burger without the cheese better. This is delicious. So thinking about ways that you can make this your own, this sauce, if you are a meat eater, bacon would complement this sauce really well. So you could do something bacon wrapped on the grill. You can wrap a jalapeno, you can wrap a piece of chicken, and then top this off. The smokiness of the bacon, along with the slightly smoky sweetness of the sauce, would go really well together. You could do a bacon cheeseburger with it. What else? This sauce might be good for baked beans, for barbecue baked beans. So maybe use navy beans for it. It would really, really be great. And I got a kick of that jalapeno that was in this burger patty, and it's perfect. So I'm definitely somebody who likes the salty, sweet combination. Salty, sweet, spicy combinations most, particularly if it's heavy on the spicy and light on the sweet. So this is definitely something that I think you should consider making if you have the same taste buds as well. That the jalapeno inside of the burger is good. And think about, you guys have burger patties, but you can always thaw out the entire package, mix it all together by hand, and put in mix-ins like jalapenos, onions, cilantro, different types of herbs. Cilantro would go good with this sauce. And maybe even, if you're not going to fully commit to it being vegan, you could put actual cheese, like a good sharp cheddar or Monterey Jack, in and then make your burger. When you mix it in with the burger meat instead of layering it on top, some of the elements like the jalapeno that I had inside of here actually touched the bottom of the pan, so it got caramelized. So it wasn't just like biting into a bigger piece of jalapeno. It was, this is something different here, right? So you have that. The onion caramelizes, the flavor is different, and then you end up with a situation where the flavors in every bite are coming out. Every single bite, you're getting this transformative experience with food. And that's really what it's all about when you're cooking, is making certain that, it's fun, it's delicious, but that it also takes you to a place in your mind. Like, I'm thinking about what to cook and how to cook it for my family, for my friends when we open back up, but also for my family so that they will enjoy it. And then making a game out of it, making it fun, exciting, engaging by saying, guess the ingredients in this sauce. You could even give them hints, give them a list of 10 ingredients, and then they choose from them and have a prize for the winner. Maybe something hand-drawn, handwritten. Possibilities are endless, basically, is what I'm saying. Play with your food, enjoy your food, engage with your family with the food, and think of it in a different way than maybe you have thought about it before. So, yeah, I think barbecue ranch salad. Yes, so you could use this sauce, a little bit of this sauce with some ranch dressing on both of them together, and you can make yourself a barbecue ranch salad. That's a good idea too. I was thinking of, instead of toast, to put it on a piece of romaine lettuce and make kind of a taco situation, like a burger made with lettuce instead of bread. So there's lots of variations in this that I think you will be very, very happy with. But try it out. Consider your add-ins. Like, somebody might want to add bacon to the sauce. So it could be a bacon watermelon situation. I keep using the word situation, but you guys get what I'm saying. Play with your food, enjoy it, have fun. Think about all of the flavors that come to mind as you do it and all the ways that you can do it. Make it your own. You now have a good solid recipe that you can build up, that you can build upon. So that's where the rest of the fun comes in. Just start building and creating and enjoying it all. And I think you'll have a really, really great time. So thank you guys today for joining me. Hopefully I didn't move too quickly for you and that you didn't have to pause the video many times. But I really want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you for wanting to learn how to cook. And I hope that this video inspires you in some kind of way to continue to get in the kitchen and cook and not be afraid of getting your hands dirty with food and playing with flavors. So that's it for today. I will see you guys again next week when we have a wonderful recipe to try out then. All right, so you guys be safe, have fun, and impress your family members with your newfound skills. Till next time, see you later. Bye.